Hello, welcome back, and welcome if it's your first time to Restorative Yoga for the cancer support community. Welcome. Today we're going to focus, as we have been, on getting circulation moving throughout the body, as well as some things you can do to boost your immunity system, particularly enhancing your lung power during this COVID time. So we always start with breath work. We're going to do some of that today at the beginning and the end, as well as work through different parts of the body. So feel free at any time to make some remarks so we know in the future if there's a part of the body you would like to focus on, and we can do that. Today, I want you to sit forward. If you're on the floor, then just lift the bottom of your ribs. If you're in a chair, move forward on your chair as you're able. And again, try to bring your ribs up away from your hips, moving your shoulders over your hips. And that helps to open up the diaphragm. When we sit all the time, if you're crinkling in and slouching, you're closing off the circulation to your intestines. That's going to create some digestive issues. So it also makes it a little more difficult for your lungs to have the ability to take in the fullness of the breath. So let's start today with that breath work. And remember, whatever else we're doing through this day, your job is to honor the body that you've been given and to just do what you can do and not judge yourself. Think of this class and every class that you've ever done as an assessment of your body and where you're at today, right here, right now. It's not fair for you to judge or compare yourself to anyone else. You're the only one that's going to be living in that body. Unless, of course, you're a woman and you have a child living inside of you. That's an exception. Let's start again by lifting up the body, squeezing your shoulder blades, just to open up your heart, and then relax the arms down to your side, and just let your hands empty in your lap. If you would like to put your hand on your abdomen, that will help you feel your breath. So in the beginning, one thing you might do if you're feeling like slouch, tired, sluggish, maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, you've been watching too much news, put one hand on your heart and the other on your abdomen, and just notice if your lower hand is moving at all. If you have anxiety, it lives in the upper part of the lobes of the lungs, and our job is to bring it down to the lower part. I feel a cough coming on, so hold on. Excuse me. Okay. Take your hands, one at the abdomen, one at the lungs, and see if you can imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing through your lungs into your abdomen, just so you can imagine that your breath is going deep in your body. You can also imagine that you're sipping your breath through a straw. Take a long breath in. Feel your ribs expand out to the side. Maybe you feel your heart lifting out. Sustain that breath in your body for a moment. Relax any muscles in your face that might feel tight. Slowly exhale. And as you exhale, feel free to draw your belly button in toward your spine so you're really emptying your breath all the way. Now breathe back in, long, slow, even and soft. And again, feel the whole body filling with your breath. Maybe you feel your ribs expand to the side. Sustain the breath. Try closing your eyes as you exhale. Notice your abdomen moving in towards your spine. Completely empty the breath. Begin the next one. Slide your hands up to your ribs. If it's challenging for you to bring your arms to the side, just cross them lightly so your fingertips are barely touching the edge of your ribs. And then you'll be able to feel your ribs expanding out to the side if you have difficulty with your hands on the outside of the ribs. So there's two options. Breathe in. And exhale. Feel the ribs moving in. Again, breathe in. And exhale. Good. We're going to do spinal movement. We're going to keep the breath moving at that same pace. Every breath long, slow, and soft. So as we move, we're going to coordinate the movement with the breath. Feel free to stand. The first part of this, I'm going to start in the chair. And the reason is to demonstrate that you can do this whether you're standing or sitting or even on the floor. So no matter where you are in your home, stay right where you're at and just keep in mind to focus on your breath and keeping it long and slow. And the first moves we're going to do are for the spine. So I'm going to move forward in the chair. I'm going to stay 45 degrees so you see what I'm doing. We're going to work the spine. So widen your feet. If you're on the ground, you can sit like a pretzel in a way that's comfortable for you. Focus on lifting the bottom of your ribs on your inhale. Point your chin out. We're going to do the crane and turtle. So fold from the waist. Come down as far as you can. You're going to draw your abdomen in and tuck your tailbone under just a little bit. You can still breathe with your abdomen tucked in. Chin into the chest. Push your spine back and roll up through your body, lifting your chin to the sky, lengthening your spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold out from the waist. Empty the body. Draw the abdomen in, roll the shoulders, push the spine back, curl up through your body. Inhale, lift the heart high to the sky. Exhale, fold out. Draw the abdomen in, press the spine back, roll up through each vertebrae. As you lift your chin, try lifting the bottom jaw so that you feel the stretch to the front of the throat. This opens up the thyroid. So give the thyroid a nice big stretch on your inhale, fold out on the exhale. Bring the chin into the chest, shoulders forward, press the spine back. Really try to bring the chin into the chest. Inhale, lift up. Lift the lower jaw, fold out on the exhale. Draw the abdomen in, curl the tailbone under, press the spine back. Lift the chin. Take a long breath in, and now reverse. This is called the turtle. So chin to chest. You're going to curl down in a little ball. Dip your nose and chin as much as you can, lifting the nose and chin. Sweep your chin to the sky. Again, chin to chest, shoulders forward, exhale. Empty the body as you bring your body down as far as you can. Don't worry about how far you go. You're only going to go 70%. Lift the chin, chin to chest, exhale. So what does this movement do? This movement helps to stimulate circulation through the spine. Helps to bring the blood back up into the brain because it gets stagnant when we sit a lot. Inhale, lift the chin. And chin to chest, exhale. Last one, bring the chin up to the sky. And level your head. Take a moment and just see if you feel a little different through your head. If you're feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy at any time, take a few extra long exhales. It's essentially the blood flowing through your body and bringing oxygen up to the brain. So if you have vertigo, that's a different story, but we're talking about feeling a little lightheaded, sort of as if you were a little giddy, that kind of lightheadedness. If you're on the floor, extend your legs straight out in front of you. If you're in a chair, bring one leg out. We're going to open up the liver gallbladder channel. So one leg is going to stay bent for stability. And I'm going to flex my foot just so my heel is connected to the ground. If you want to point your toe, that's an option. But make sure your heel is planted in there. And you can also wiggle back on your chair about halfway, just so you feel both sitting bones firm on your chair. Sweep your arms up to the sky. And push the heel of the hands into the sky. Keep the hands lifted up as you push up like you're holding up a cloud, and notice the lengthening you feel through the sides of your body. Now draw your abdomen in just a little bit, like you're putting on a pair of pants that you used to fit before the quarantine. Fold out from the waist. Look down at your toe. Empty your arms to your side. Or just use your hands on your legs or on the chair, wherever you need for stability. Try softening your upper body. So as you exhale, you're going to let your upper body drape over top of the leg. Close your eyes and remember, it doesn't matter how far you go into the fold. If you're just a little bit and that's as far as you can go, good for you. You're going as far as you can go. You want to stretch without straining. So focus on an empty upper body rather than worrying about how far you go into the stretch. Just let go with your breath. And to come out of this, you're going to draw your abdomen in and push your spine back. I want you to keep pushing your spine back as if you're pushing it out of your body each time we do any kind of folding action. We're creating space between the vertebrae and getting rid of the compression that happens as gravity's always pushing us down. So we want to keep lifting the body up, away from the earth. We're going to go to the other side. I'm just rotating so you can get a sense of what I'm doing with my body here. So I'm going to extend the leg out to the side just as much as you can. Sweep the arms up, lace the fingers. Draw your abdomen in, look down towards your foot, push through the heel of the hands. So as you lean forward, you're going to get a nice stretch through the shoulders if you're pushing through the hands. And once you come out as far as you can, you're just going to empty your whole upper body. So just let it fall and drape toward your leg. Send any tension out through your heel. So if you're on the floor, you're in a forward fold. Draw the abdomen in and push your spine back and roll up through your body. You're in the chair, both feet coming together underneath you. You're on the floor. I'm going to start here with you since I'm here. You're going to open your knees to the side. If you see your knees are really high, just take your elbows and press them down with your breath so that it's a release with the exhale. You're in the chair, a variation of this. Again, I'm sitting on the corner so you can see what I'm doing. It also allows me to open my hips a little wider. You can do this in the front or the side of the chair. Hands are going to be behind you to lift your spine. Make sure you're not clenching your shoulders, so your shoulders stay down. Squeezing your shoulders. This helps you open up the body without rolling down. That's what we want to try to prevent. Your heels are going to come together. So the inside of the feet touch. If you're able to touch the ball of the foot and the heel together, that's what we're going for. And then just let the knees drape open. Use your hands to help support your spine to keep your body long. And if you're on the floor, let the hands release the legs. If that's easy and your knees are on the floor already and you're on the floor, the next variation would be bringing the heels in a little closer to you. So the heels are close to the body as you're letting your legs open out to the side. So those are all options for different planes. Just gently bring your legs back together. We're going to do a spinal twist next. So on the floor, extend one leg and bring the other leg over top, crossing it. So we have a cross pattern. You can do the legs parallel to one another, but in the style that I taught, when you cross the legs and bring the arm over, you're creating new neural pathways in the brain just by this cross action. We're changing patterns by doing this, patterns in the brain. So your goal is to try to cross the foot. If you can't, just let your ankles cross. No biggie. Remember, you're not being graded. That's the good thing. You're bringing your right ankle or leg over top of the other one. The other hand's going to come close to your tailbone, as close as you can get it. Use your knuckle or fingertips and lengthen your spine. So the closer the arm is to the body, as you extend your arm, it lifts up your torso. This is where your organs are, so you want the body long. Hands going to come across the body, tall spine, twist looking over your right shoulder. Ease off on your inhale. Got a little pressure, just gently press the arm against the leg to help with your twist and your exhale. And make sure that your chin isn't down. Lift your chin up as you look over the shoulder. Easing off, come back to center and align your spine. Unwind the legs. Bring the left leg over the right. I simply rotate it so that you can see what I'm doing easier. You do not have to swirl around in your chair. Bring your hand close to your tailbone. Lengthen your arm. So lift the body without raising your shoulder up and creating tension here. Right arm crosses the body. Feel the length in your abdomen. So think about keeping those ribs up, away from the hips. Twist looking over the shoulder. With every exhale, you're going to twist a little deeper. Ease off, come back to center. So if you are unable to cross your arms or your legs, it's okay. This is really called a spinal twist. It's about the spine more than what you're doing with your legs. So putting your hand over the legs is another option. Should have mentioned that at the beginning. We're going to repeat on both sides. So take into account that if you can't cross your legs or your ankles, just bring your hand to the opposite knee and try that. So whatever leg is on top, you're going to bring the other arm across the body. So that's the way to think about this. It's cross pattern. So this arm is on top, the other hand is free, is going to be close to your tailbone, lengthen your spine, and twist looking over the shoulder. Easing off, come back and align the spine and go once more to the other side. Tall spine, take a breath in, twist. And gently come back. Unwind your legs. We're going to open the hips next. I'll demonstrate in the chair, and I'll go to the floor. Your couple options. Again, do what you can. That's the golden rule. And if it really hurts, you're in pain, ease off or modify it. Remember, you're the only one that's lived in your body. So no one else is going to know what feels right for you. Cross your ankle over your thigh if able. If you can bring the heel back depending on your level of flexibility. If you're on the floor, same thing. So one leg is going to cross like you just did. You can open the knee out to the side or try sliding the heel back toward the hip and stacking your knees. So one knee is the intention that one knee is over the other one. Maybe it's not there today, but it can get there if you are patient. The thing to remember is yoga is not a quick fix. It's about a journey, and that's why they call it a practice. The more you practice, the easier it gets, like everything. So the ankles over the knee, lengthen the spine, give a little tuck in with your abdomen, point your chin, fold out from the waist. So my hands are on my chair for support. Lengthen through the chin, fold your body out, release your arms. Let your head hang. Draw the abdomen in, push the spine back, roll up through your body. Unwind the leg, and go to the other side. Remember to always try both sides. The side that might be a little tighter is the one you want to give extra time to. That's the way you even out the body in yoga. So we're just assessing where that extra tightness is right now. Lengthen the spine. Fold out, point the chin so the spine and the body stays long. You're going to come out in a long line. Empty over top of your neck. Draw the abdomen in and press the spine back. We're going to repeat this. We're going to go one time more. So instead of doing both sides, actually we're going to repeat on both sides and then we'll do one more on the side that's tighter. So let's go back to the first leg. If you're on the floor, again, that heel could be back toward your hip. If you are able to get it there, it just gives a little different opening experience in the leg. Tall spine, draw in your abdomen, point your chin out, fold out from the waist. Soften your upper body, and be sure to let your head hang. And as you release your head, soften all the muscles in your face. Draw the abdomen in and push your spine back and roll up through your body one vertebrae at a time. Unwind your leg. Go to the other side. Lengthen your spine. Point your chin out. Fold from the waist. So again, you can use your hands to hold on to as you need to. But once you come into it as far as you can, soften and release. So everything is empty. That's the key to letting your body open, is to stay relaxed. So instead of straining to get into the pose, just empty. And then everything will flow. Draw the abdomen in, push the spine back as you roll up through the body. And unwind the leg. We're going to do one more, but only to whichever side felt more tight for you. Remember, this is about bringing balance in the body. That's what yoga is about, to balance out both halves of the body and the mind. So go back to whatever side is tight. If they both felt the same, you know which one may be a little bit tighter. So just pick one. Again, think about the dynamics of the posture. So you're tall and long. As soon as you start to lean out, close your eyes and just focus on your breath. With every exhale, feel your body releasing a little deeper. So I'm going to stay long in my body until I come out as far as I can and then just let everything empty. Imagine any tension pouring through your hip and into the earth. Draw your abdomen in and push your spine back and roll up through every vertebrae. And then unwind the leg. Already, you should feel a little difference in your hips. So the hips and the shoulders are big areas where we store a lot of stress. We're going to be working on those, and again, as I mentioned earlier, focusing a bit more on the lungs today to help build up and increase the oxygen level in your body. The more oxygen you have, the more you can fight off dis-ease in the body. So let's do a little more for the shoulders to begin. One thing we're going to do is bring your arms behind you, on the floor or in the chair. Just bring your hands back as much as you can, and then try to connect your elbows together. Lift your ribs and squeeze in your shoulder blades. Look up. Open your heart up to the sky. So the more you pull the elbows back, imagine they're touching. If they don't, you'll feel this all the way across the chest and around the shoulder. If you've had an injury in your shoulder, again, modify for your body. Release. We're going to go a little deeper in the shoulders. So I'm going to stand so you can see what I'm doing behind me. You can do this on the floor, chair, standing, as you like. Start out, I'm just going to show you real quick. I'm going to bring my hand behind me. So reach for the other elbow. If you cannot find your other elbow and you can't get to the elbow, you're only going to go as far as you can, right? Because that's where you're at today. If you're able to connect your elbow, then you're going to bring your other hand up toward the shoulder blade. Once you relax, try walking your hand up toward the back of the head. Remember, there's no wrong. You are only honoring where you are today. The reason that we're working this area is to increase the range of motion in the shoulder. And the more open the shoulders are, the healthier it is for your heart. So the cow is what this posture is called. And I grew up in a rural area. I never saw a cow that looked like this. But for whatever reason, this is the name for it. And the idea is that you can reach both hands behind you. No, most people cannot. So instead of doing this and really reaching and feeling like, it's impossible, just lift your hand up and place it behind your neck, like this. Again, we're opening up the armpit and we're just letting some circulation get in underneath the arm. There's loads of lymph nodes in here and the groin, so we're going to go into those lymph nodes today. You're here. Maybe this arm is relaxed. And then switch back again. So lift this arm into the sky. Circle it around. Try to find the elbow. Walk it over. Let this hand lift up. If you only have just a part of your sleeve, just start pulling it over a little bit at a time. Many people use bands and straps to help, but I encourage you not to, just because then you have the band doing the work, and it tends to have you pull more, and we don't want that. You want your body to open up with your breath. So just take it slow. Remember, there's no contest to this. So try that one more time. Pull the elbow across. And maybe release this arm, lift even bring your hand across and pull the elbow behind the head. And this will give you a deeper stretch through this part of the arm. Release. Feel the difference in your shoulders, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just see if one side is easier than the other. Bring your hand across. And remember, you're just doing what you can do. Reach your hand up the back of your spine. The other hand's going to come up. If you're only doing one hand at a time, remember this is not a requirement for the hands to touch. But I can tell you that if you are able to do this, once the beach is open, since we're all going to be in isolation, you'll be able to reach and put your suntan lotion on all by yourself. Release your arm, bring the other hand up over, bring your arm across and pull the elbow behind the head. And feel the whole armpit open up. And then release. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. And come back to the chair. Remember, if you're on the floor, to stay where you're at in a seated position and modify and adjust your position so you don't feel stuck too much. The next thing we're going to do is also for the neck and shoulders. There's a whole series that's called the monkey series, and we're just going to do the part that's going to open the top part of your shoulder today. Okay, so bring your arms together like you have a tray of food on your arms. Widen your fingers, big party tray. Curl, so I'm going to dip my arms down so you can see what I'm doing, but I want to keep my wrist in line with my elbows. Roll the heel of your hand together and bring your fingers up like you're a shadow art bird. And now you're going to take your arms and slide them to one side. Notice that my wrist and elbow are on the same plane. So if your hands are up or down, you spilled your party tray. So try to move your arms out, bend the elbows, open the fingers. So I'm going to turn this way so you see what I'm doing with my hands. Spread out your fingers and push to the heel of your hands. Now, you can see my spine stays tall. So try not to roll back. Lift up. Arms are to the side of your body. Fingers are open. Push to the heel of the hands. Stretch out through your fingers really, really wide. So this is very active. The arms are active and your elbows are drawing in. Now look over the shoulder in the opposite direction. Open your eyes wide as you try to look over the shoulder. Push to the heel of the hand. Reach to the fingertips. And gently release. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So bring your arms up like you have a party tray. Slide your arms to one side. Keep the wrist parallel to your elbows. Again, turn so you see what I'm doing. You're going to stay in the same position. You're just going to curl the heel of your hands so the thumbs come together. And then open up your fingers to the side like you have a shadow art bird. The arms are away from you, elbows stay together, wrists are in line with the elbows, and pushing to the heel of the hands, stretching out through the fingertips. And I'm going to lift my chin and look over my shoulder. Keep pressing through the fingertips, pushing through the heel of the hand. Stretch your eyes behind you like you're trying to see what's on the wall behind you. Keep pressing through the arms and the fingertips. And ease up. So you felt it right across the top of your your shoulders. That's what this is for. I'm going to do one more in this series. Again, we're opening up the area, the space between the shoulder blades. So when we're doing this next posture, really think about rolling your shoulders forward. First, we're working the tendons that go from the spine through the shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingertips. So bring your arms out and curl. So from the side again, curl. Bring your elbows together. Just like we did before, fingers are open and spread. Push through the heel of the hand. Lift the little finger, just the little one. And now exhale and lift the ring finger. Lift the middle finger. Lift the index finger. Lift the thumb. Now keep your wrist right where it is and just curl all your fingers and push through the back of your hand like you're pushing on a wall. Elbows stay rolling in toward each other. And here we go. You're going to keep your wrists where they're at. My shoulders are curled forward. I'm going to roll my knuckles so I'm facing bringing my hands toward you so you can see what I'm doing with my knuckles. I'm going to roll my knuckles together and bring the top of my wrist together. And now I'm going to curl my shoulders forward. So this is where it's okay to slouch, because the key is to open up the space between the shoulder blades. Now open your arms out to the side. Curl the fingers, stretch your fingertips up, and bring your elbows forward. And now try to lift your ribs up again, so that you're not slouching down so much. You do this to open up the space between the shoulders, and then lift back up into the spine. Keep the elbows moving forward. So you're going to look like a monkey. Stretch through your fingertips like you're trying to tickle yourself, but your elbows stay high. And release. So this is really good. It gives a whole new sense of spaciousness through the neck and shoulders. Just roll your wrists. It's very good for the tendons, especially if you're working on a computer all day. So now let's just roll the shoulders a few times in both directions. And maybe rock your spine back and forth. So we're going to do a few like spinal cord breathing. Tuck under, roll back. Tuck under, roll back. So my tailbone's rolled back, my tailbone's under. I'm just doing this again to loosen the spine and get the circulation moving up through the spine. Big breath in, empty on the exhale. One more in, lift up. And now exhale. Next we're going to do a forward fold. So if you're on the floor, extend your legs straight out in front of you. If you're in a chair, you want to sit back halfway or where you feel like you're going to be safe and not falling off your chair. I'm on the corner of the chair, so I'm going to be a little more forwards so it doesn't cut my thighs in half. Now, bring your legs out. Lift up, reach up high, and as soon as you extend up into the sky, pull your abdomen in just a little bit. Remember, it's as if you were putting on a pair of button pants instead of your yoga pants. Look up and fold out. And when I come out, I'm going to roll and pushing through the heel of the hands so that I feel it in my spine. Look down toward your toes. And release your hands once you come out as far as you can. And then just sink your body over your legs. Again, if you're on the floor, just sink into a forward fold. Take a breath. One more time. Lace your fingers so you're just doing as much as you can do today. Lift up. Try to do something. Look at your hands. Push up and out. Fold from the waist. Again, if you're on the ground, keep the body tall and long as you come out over your legs and soften your upper body. Be sure to release your shoulders and empty your arms. And draw in the abdomen and push the spine back and roll back up through your body. If you're on the floor, I want you to cross your legs, transition to your hands and knees, bring one foot forward, slide the other leg back. Just do what you can. And bring your shoulders over your hips. So if this is really uncomfortable, leave the knee on the ground. Try to just bring the shoulders over the hips. That's more important because we're going to be opening up the front of the hip here. If you're in a chair, you're going to be doing a similar thing. You're on the very front of the chair. You're going to extend your leg back, and you'll feel it lengthening here in the groin or the quad. So right where that leg bends, that's what we're stretching out. So when you bring your leg behind you, push through the back heel, lift your leg to the sky. And notice feeling it here. If you have lower back problems, it's okay for leaning forward. If you are able, here's where you tuck in your abdomen to lift the spine and try to shift the shoulders over the hips. And the reason is gravity will help open up the body. Again, lower back problems, just stay forward. It's always doing what you can do, right? Easing off. Bring the leg forward. So if you're on the floor, you're just going to shift your hips back to the hands and knees and exchange legs. So either the knee is on the floor, you want to go deeper, the knees over the ankle. And let the hips sink down toward the floor. If you're in a chair, you just switch to the other side, other leg. Ease off, come back. We're going to repeat it, and we'll add a little bit of tapping for the groin area, again, where the lymph nodes are. So again, shoulders are over the hips. Do some tapping. If you're in the chair, same thing. Take your fingertips or your knuckle, whatever works better for you, and just tap. Come all the way up over your hip bone. It's the hip bone. It's where white blood cells get generated. Come all the way down into the groin. And now we're going to switch sides again. So shifting the hips back, knees together, slide the other knee forward, or come up onto the foot. Again, if you're in the chair, you just switch to the other leg again. And again, fist or hand, tap in the groin area. So in the chair, tapping. And then release. Come back to a seated position if you're on the floor. I'm going to do a little bit of breath work just to break it up. And we're going to go to some balance postures to round things out. So what I want you to do is imagine that you're taking off a shirt. So we're going to cross our arms and our fingertips are going to be on the side of our ribs. And you're just going to brush your fingertips up the outside of your ribs like you're pulling off a shirt. Bring your arms up as much as you can. Remember, if you've had scarration and from surgery, just come up as much as you can. If your arms don't go all the way into the sky, you're only going as far as your body will let you go. Take a breath in and exhale. Let's do 2 more of those. Breathe in, look up, and exhale. 1 more. So fingertips are going to brush up the side of your ribs like you're pulling off the shirt. Look to the sky. Exhale. Now we're going to reverse. So breathe in, palms are up. You're gathering a big ball. Cross your arms over and exhale. Release your arms down to your lap. Again, breathe in. Cross your arms, touching your hands to the side of your body. Empty the elbows. 1 more. Inhale, lift the hands to the sky. Cross the arms and exhale. If you're in a chair and you're able to get up, this is where I want you to come to standing. Same if you're on the floor. So find your way back to a standing position. If you're on the floor, you may want to just come into something where you can walk yourself up to a fold, then roll your way up. Grab onto any piece of furniture that you need to get yourself to standing. And while me here, you have a chair to hold on to. So this is a nice little tool for support. You can also use a wall, piece of furniture, countertop, it all works. The key is that we're working on your balance. So the key to this today, again, my feet are going to be to the side, and I'm lifting my toes up. So if my hands were my feet, I'm lifting my toes and spreading them out in case you can't see my feet. And now lay the toes down. And you'll feel the full surface of your foot on the ground when you do that. That's what this is for, it helps with balance. So I lift the toes, spread them out, bend the knees a little bit as I put my feet down on the ground. Keep your knees bent and shift from one leg to the other. So use your chair as a support or countertop, whatever you got. And just lift the heel. So I'm going to stand at an angle so you can see what I'm doing. My heel is lifted, but my big toe is still on the ground. Curl under your tailbone so you can lift the ribs. Leave your toe on the ground. If you're able to lift your knee a little bit, that's great. Try that without your toe or foot being on the ground. Engage your glutes, especially of your standing leg. So the standing leg, engage the glutes, lift your ribs up. Again, use your chair for support as you need to. It's there when you need it. Concentrate on your breath. Now I'm going to flex my foot and put my heel down first. And put the whole surface of the foot on the ground. Switch to the other side. So if you need to go to the other side of your chair, that's an option. I'm just going to bend and lift the heel up off the ground. Tuck under the tailbone. You'll find more length, and it helps to open the psoas muscle, and that's a muscle that attaches at the lowest rib in the back of the body, goes underneath the abdominal muscles, through the opening in the hip bone, and attaches to the front of the thigh. It's the muscle that is involved with pelvic health, And it's also what helps us with balance. Remember, your toe could stay on the ground if it needs to be there today. Let's put the whole foot down, and notice when you put the foot down, if your toe went first or the heel. I purposely put my toe first because it feels very different. And I'll lift and flex and put the heel first. Just notice that. When you do balance poses, most of the time people put their toe down first, and then when they go to switch, they're off balance. But when you walk, your heel goes first, so the full surface of the foot hits the ground. And when you're doing balance postures, that's equally as important. Flex the foot, put the heel down, and then when you go back into the next part, you already have the surface of your foot covering the ground. So we're going to repeat this, and this time we're going to bring our legs straight out, just as far as you can. So sink, lift the toes, spread them out, put all the weight into one leg. You pick, we're going to do both sides. Draw in your abdomen just a little bit, lengthen the ribs, and again, that toe can stay on the ground. Remember, no one's going to grate you. Focus on your exhale. See if you can lift it a little higher. Maybe for just one breath and then bring it back down. Half a breath. Depends on where you're at today. Keep yourself stable as you need to. Lift your leg as high as you can for 2 more breaths. And then bend the knee and flex the foot and put the heel down first. Shift the weight to the other leg. Go to the other side of the chair as you need to. Again, tuck under, lift the ribs, point the toe out. Big toe can stay on the ground, and it doesn't have to lift up or go anywhere if it doesn't feel right for you today. Remember, this is just what feels good for you. Lift the toe. Focus on your breath. I'm a little wobbly on this side today. Go up as high as you can for 2 more breaths. And put the heel down first. Release. Good. We're going to do side to side stretch. If you need to sit down again, that's perfectly cool. If you're standing, widen your feet so you have a nice strong stance. So side-to-side stretches are good to open up the organs in the side of the body. They can easily be done in a chair. If you're in a chair, you want to be forward so that you can use the side, angle the chair. If I have my hand here, I can just slide it down the side of the chair and I stay supported. So that's an option for you if you're in a chair. Okay? Standing up, feet are wide. Bring one arm out, turn your palm to the sky, lift your arm up. So again, if you're in a chair or you have arm issues, just keep your elbow bent. You're just going to lift up as high as you can. This hand is going to slide down the leg of the chair or down your leg. If your arm is bent or lifted, look up, and if you see your arm in front of your head, roll it back behind your ear, and you'll feel a big difference in the whole side of the body opening up, and that's what we want. So if you look up and see your arm, try rolling it back. Remember, not to go any further than it feels good for you. There is no I can't. You can. You're just going to do what you can do. Stretch out through the fingers. So this arm is kind of empty unless you're using it for support with the chair for your balance. Inhale, lift up the arm. Look at your hand and follow it down. When it comes in line with your shoulder, turn your palm back to the earth as you exhale. And we're going to do the other side. Lift the arm. Palm to the sky, lift up, stretch high, and the hand's going to go down the leg of the chair or your leg. slide to the side. Tilt your head to the clouds. Reach out through this upper arm. So this arm is stretching out like it's trying to touch the wall in the room that you're in. Other arm is empty if you can. Breathe in, lift up. Bring it in line with your shoulder. And slowly return it. We're going to repeat this with a variation. If you feel really unstable, leave your legs just as they are, or bring them in just a little more so they're square under your hips. To find this point, bring your big toes together in the front. So I'm going to show you with my hands what I'm doing with my feet. Your arms can stay to the side. Pretend my hands are feet. I'm bringing my toes together in the front. And then I'm going to lift my heels and rotate them out. Sink into the heels, lift your toes, and bring them forward so that your feet are parallel to each other and they're square with the outside edge of your hips. That's a very stable stance. If you're in a chair, you're just going to bring your legs to the edge of the chair so you have a wide leg stance. Lift your arms up. Lace your fingers, push up like you're holding up the clouds, and then lean to one side. So I am leaning. If I'm leaning out to your left, push a little harder through this upper arm, through the heel of the hand. So you feel this all the way down through the whole side of the body. Look up. Get a little smile into the sky. You're doing so good for all the glands and organs and tissues in your body. Lift up. Release your arms for a moment in case they're tired. Exhale, lift up again. Lace your fingers, push the heel of the hands into the sky. Tilt in the other direction into your breath. Look up to the sky. And whatever hand is on top, you're going to push a little more through the heel of that hand, feeling the length through the whole side of the body, all the way down into that leg. Now on your next breath, lift up. Part your hands and release your arms back to the sides. And just notice how different your arms feel. So our goal is to open up the lymph nodes in the legs and the arms. Now we're going to go back to some breath work to end our class today. So again, I'm going to bring my helper. Remember, the key to yoga is connecting the mind, breath, and body. The way to clear the mind is by sinking into the breath. So today, let's sink into our breath. We're going to do a little bit of an upbeat breath. And the key to this breath is that you open your mouth on the exhale. So imagine, take anything that's really bothering you in your mind, and imagine that when you exhale, you're pushing it out of your body. Because that's really what you're doing. The breath takes 80% of the toxins. And sometimes those toxins can be your thoughts. And that can be dangerous because our thoughts impact our health. And we want to get rid of all those nasty thoughts so we can replace them with signs of spring and new life. Breathe in. It can be a short inhale, but try to fill up your body. Strong exhale. If you can't think of anything stressful to breathe out, that's good. Instead, think about using your breath to throw a cotton ball across the room. Breathe in. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Count 6 more breaths. Try 2 more. 2 more. 3 more. Now just keep your eyes closed. Take a moment to be inside of your body and recognize the difference in how it feels now, how it felt when you started. Again, if you're feeling any tingling or lightheadedness, that's really normal. It's oxygen moving up under your skin, through your brain, and through the cells in your body. It's the oxygen in your body that helps eliminate dis-ease. So we want a lot of oxygen. Now rub your hands together and get them nice and warm and toasty. Place your hands over your face. Gently, very softly, take your fingertips and move them gently from your eyebrows to your hairline, and then trace around the outside edge of your face and under your chin. Lift your chin. Slide your fingertips up the front of your face to the crown of your head. And exhale, hands over the ears, down to the bottom of the neck. Bring your hands in front of your throat. Lift your chin. Slide your hands up the front of your throat to the top of your head. Exhale, hands over the ears. Now take your fingertips, slide them all the way behind your head, to the top of your spine. Push in. Slide your fingertips to the bottom of your neck. Lift your chin. Bring your hands back around the front of your throat, up the face, the crown of the head. Exhale, palms over the ears, down to the bottom of the neck. Bring the chin into the chest. Slide your fingers to the top of the spine. Push in on either side of your neck. As your fingertips slide to the bottom of your neck, lift your chin back up and do one more round. Close your eyes if you haven't yet. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Hands over the ears as you empty your breath. Tilt the chin in on your inhale. Fingers to the top of the spine. Press in on either side of the vertebrae. And now let your hands come down the front of your body and find their way to your heart. Open the 3 middle fingers so that you have what we call a lotus flower. And place that in front of your heart. And now tilt your chin in, looking into that lotus flower. Feel free to close your eyes as you like, but put a smile on your face, whether your eyes are closed or open. Feel the breath sliding over that smile and into your body. And as you breathe in, invite that breath to fill every cell, every tissue and bone. Take a moment to honor how great that miracle is that you're living in. Even if some parts might be missing or not working at all, just be grateful that we have the ability to see and feel, touch, taste, and smell all the beauty of spring and the people in this world. Bring your fingers together, sealing the heart meridian. It was my honor to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you Monday at 10:30 for Qigong, or back here next week at 1:30 for yoga again. Namaste. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining in.